Good afternoon. This is Susan, and this is Susan's Ramblings. I have more recipes for you today, starting with maple corn cakes. You use 1 box of Jiffy corn muffin mix, 1/4 cup of flour, 2 eggs beaten, 2 tablespoons of maple syrup, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 3 tablespoons of buttermilk or soured milk. Mix all together. Melt a small portion of butter on a griddle. Use 1/4 cup butter for each pancake. Fry 3 to 4 minutes on each side. You may add a can of cream corn if desired. And just in case you don't have any Jiffy muffin mix, here is a homemade copycat recipe for the Jiffy muffin mix. 3/4 cups of flour, 1/2 cup of cornmeal, 3 tablespoons of salt, 1 tablespoon of baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and 2 tablespoons of oil, which is optional. To this, you add 1 egg and 1/2 cup of milk to make your muffins. Homemade Jiffy muffin mix, copycat. Breakfast sausage seasoning. 4 tablespoons of sage, 4 tablespoons of sage, 4 teaspoons of thyme, 4 teaspoons of fennel seeds, 1 1/2 teaspoons of crushed red peppers, which is optional, 2 teaspoons of salt, 2 teaspoons of black pepper. Combine them all together, store in an airtight container, and to use 2 tablespoons per pound of meat. Breakfast sausage seasoning. Breakfast sausage seasoning again. And this is from 1840s. 1 pound of ground pork. My mouth isn't working today. 1 1/2 teaspoons of crushed sage. 1 teaspoon of crushed thyme. 1 teaspoon of salt, 2 teaspoons of brown sugar, 3/4 teaspoons of black pepper, 1/4 teaspoon of red pepper flakes, which is optional, 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne peppers, which is also optional, 1/4 teaspoon of coriander, 3 teaspoons of maple syrup, 1/2 teaspoon of paprika, 5 teaspoons of powdered milk. That's your breakfast sausage from 1840. No need of artesian bread. 1 1/2 cups of lukewarm water, 1/2 tablespoon of yeast, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 3 1/2 cups of flour. Put the water in a bowl, add your yeast, add your flour all at once. Mix until everything until well incorporated. You will have a rough, sticky dough. Cover. Allow to stand at room temperature for 2 hours. Do not punch down. Use it or refrigerate it for up to 2 weeks. If you refrigerate it, allow it to stand at room temperature for 40 minutes before using. To use, form 2 balls of dough and form into a loaf. No need artesian bread. Mary's Thousand Island dressing. 1 cup of mayo, 1 cup of tomato ketchup, 1 tablespoon of grated onion, 1/2 cup of pickled relish, or more if desired, 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire, 1 grated boiled egg, 2 teaspoons of sugar, 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. Mix all ingredients well, store in an airtight container in the refrigerator. Make ahead of time so that the flavors have a chance to merge. Mary's Thousand Island dressing. Poultry seasoning. The time of the year again where we're going to use lots of it. 2 tablespoons of dried parsley. 2 tablespoons of dried thyme. 1 tablespoon of dried sage. 2 tablespoons. 1 tablespoon of marjoram. 1 tablespoon of celery seed. 1 tablespoon of dried rosemary. 1 tablespoon of black pepper. 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg. Combine our ingredients and mix well. Store in an airtight container in a cool, dark place. Use as you would use for any recipe that calls for poultry seasoning. Poultry seasoning. Copycat Lorry salt. 2 tablespoons of salt. 2 teaspoons of sugar. 1/2 teaspoon of paprika. 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric. 1/4 teaspoon of onion powder. 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder. 1/4 teaspoon of cornstarch. Mix all ingredients in a bowl and combine all ingredients in a bowl. Mix thoroughly. Store in a jar or an airtight container. You can use as you desire for seasoning. Lorry's Copycat. Holiday Ritz crackers. 1 stick of melted butter. 1 packet of ranch dressing. 1/4 cup of grated Parmesan cheese. 1 tablespoon of red pepper flakes. 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. 1 box of Ritz crackers. Toss crackers with all the ingredients and bake at 300 degrees for 15 minutes. Holiday Ritz crackers. Potato puffs. 3 cups of mashed potatoes. 2 eggs. 1/2 cup of sour cream. I think it's 1/2. 1/3 cup of sour cream, 1 cup of shredded cheddar cheese. 2 tablespoons of Parmesan cheese. 2 tablespoons of chopped chives. Salt and pepper to taste. Preheat your oven to 400 degrees. Grease with butter a muffin tin. Whisk the sour cream with the eggs, cheese, and the chives and mix well. Add the potatoes too. Spoon into the tin to slightly below half. Bake at 400 degrees for 25 minutes or until they pull away from the side and are golden brown. Return for the oven, leave in the pan for 5 minutes, and then remove from the pan. Serve with sour cream. My recipes want to get away from me here. Cola baked beans. 3 cans, 16 ounces of assorted beans. 1/2 cup of tomato puree, tomato sauce. 2 tablespoons of spicy brown mustard. 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. 1/2 teaspoon of salt. 1/8 teaspoon of black pepper. 1 1/2 cups of Coke. 6 slices of bacon. Drain and rinse the beans. Combine the beans with the tomato puree with the mustard, vinegar, salt, and pepper. Mix well. Add the cola and mix until well blended. Pour into a greased 8x8 pan. Slice the bacon into 4 pieces and put on top of the beans. Bake until the bacon is crispy and the beans are hot. 375 degrees. I'm sorry. They're sliding away from me, okay? And 1 more to go. A milk pie. 1 unbaked pie shell. 1 cup of sugar, combination of brown, white, or more white. 1/4 cup or less of flour, a dash salt, 1/2 cup of cream and milk. Mix your sugar, flour, and salt with your fingers. Add into the crust. Add the cream and pour into the crust with milk. Sprinkle nutmeg and bake at 400 degrees for 10 minutes. Reduce heat 350 and bake an additional 40 minutes. Milk pie. Remember, all these recipes and ingredients will be given in your description box. Have a great day and God bless.